What if there was a man who got to live for free? He never actually had to pay for anything with his actual money, didn't need to work, got almost anything he wanted, and does this more or less at your expense. That man is Jeff Bezos. And before you think this is going to be some kind of video, it's not. It's not going to happen. This is a video touching on the economics of just how wealthy Jeff Bezos is and how he gets to buy just about everything he wants for free. Yes, yeah, literally free. I'll explain it. It might be confusing. Just work with me. Also, this wouldn't be a video about Jeff Bezos without touching on some tax avoidance. If you could drop a like or subscribe, that would be greatly appreciated. It really helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. First off, how did Jeff Bezos become so rich? He quit his lucrative finance job in 1994, moved to Seattle to start the e-commerce website originally as an online bookstore, Amazon. He realized the untapped potential of shifting all retail online, and he began this grand vision to make it happen.
I've stumbled onto a major company conspiracy, Mac. How about that for stress?
What the hell are you talking about?
Check this out. Take a look at this.
Jesus Christ,
That right there is the mail. Now let's talk about the mail. Can we talk about the mail, please, Mac? I'm dying to talk about the mail with you all day, okay?
Having to raise money and acquire talent, he sold part of his company, leaving him with approximately 16% of all Amazon stock. Today, that 16% is worth around $202.7 billion last time I pulled it up. That's, well, okay, obviously that's an unheard of amount of wealth. You know, it just is, okay? Which brings me to my next point. Take somebody like Jeff Bezos. Most of his wealth is in Amazon stock. Some people have this impression that Jeff Bezos is legitimately paid billions of that, and that's very false. He's never actually been paid $1 billion. Bezos is not even the highest paid Amazon employee in the company that he runs. That title goes to Andrew Jassy, the executive in charge of Amazon Web Services, which runs the company's cloud services operations, among other things. Most of Jeff Bezos' wealth is, like I said, tied up in stocks. And if you know how stocks work, the more you own, the more say you get in the company. So if Bezos wants to cash out, he also loses say in the company, hence why the very, very wealthy rarely cash out their stocks in full. Now we move into his wealth and taxes. There are different types of wealth building. When Jeff Bezos sees his net worth climb to $200 billion, he only pays taxes on the gains when he sells. So even as his stock has gained tens of billions of dollars in value over the past year, he isn't taxed on that at all. Let's say he sells 10 million worth of shares to cover living expenses. He pays capital gains tax on that he sells, which is lower than income taxes at the top of the income bracket. For capital gains, usually you'll see yourself paying about 20% in federal, and then depending which state you live in, it could vary. So in this example, assuming Jeff Bezos' shares had zero costs at the time he acquired them, his $10 million sales would trigger a $2 million tax bill. Not nothing, but basically a rounding error versus his net worth. The other way that some wealthy reduce taxable income is through a business. By deducting expenses for the business, they can cut their taxable income and buy things with pre-tax dollars. Say you're a dentist who wants to vacation in Hawaii. Find a dental conference going on there, attend, and tack on a vacation after the conference, deducting some of the hotel, meals, all the airfare, etc., to cut your true cost of vacationing in Hawaii. Maybe you decide to lease a Mercedes through your dental practice too, reducing your income and paying for the car with pre-tax dollars. And that MacBook Pro you use sometimes to update patient notes from home, same thing. But the real kicker is banks. You see, most extremely wealthy individuals don't want to sell their stock and lose their say in a company. So what do? They use banks. They put up stocks as collateral and essentially get to borrow money at astonishingly low interest rates. This is something Elon Musk does too. He lives off loans he makes from his stock options. This is because he doesn't take a salary from his company. This is actually pretty common practice among most of the Silicon Valley elites, which means he pays no income tax. He constantly borrows money from Tesla without taking a salary from his own company. Through stock options, Musk takes out loans against his company shares to fund his Tesla projects, which he does not owe income tax for, and also deducts some of the interest, keep that in mind, some of the interest on those loans on his taxes. There will be years when he is expected to pay taxes from exercising option grants, but it appears that Musk is operating above board. Here's even a tweet where he mentions the only time he sells Tesla stock is when his stock options are expiring and he has no choice but to cash them out. This was a tweet responding to one of his supporters. So, in the beginning, when I said to imagine a man who gets to live for free, does that make a little more sense now? Jeff Bezos, with maybe one exception, Blue Origin, his rocket company, never needs to pay for anything. He can always borrow money from a bank. The billionaire is living and funding projects off his loans and avoids taxes until he dies. He never really needs to sell. He receives billion-dollar loans that he will never pay during his lifetime. The last time he filed taxes, he actually received a refund on his taxable income of $80,000. And with the exception of Blue Origin, which he said he would cash out $1 billion of Amazon stock each year to fund, that's the only time he really sees a tax bill of maybe 20%. He's literally the safest loan applicant in the world, if you think about it. With a net worth of over $200 billion, what bank would not want to lend you money? He can cover more than any bank can literally loan him. He could literally buy the bank. He can be loaned any amount he desires and be charged the least amount of interest that anyone else would. He can get paid whenever he wants. He never needs to consider paying it back either. He's completely outside the norm, literally in a category of one.